Welcome back to Aliyah and Chill. I'm your host, and today we're exploring the mystical realm of Israeli mortgages, where getting approved requires more documentation than joining the Mossad, more financial scrutiny than running for office, and more patience than raising teenagers. Fair warning, this episode contains themes of paper cuts from excessive documentation, existential dread about your financial worthiness, and the gradual realization that your mortgage advisor knows more about your spending habits than your therapist. So there I was, ready to become a homeowner in the Holy Land. I'd saved up for a down payment, found an apartment I could almost afford, and figured the mortgage process would be straightforward. Just prove you can pay back the loan, sign some papers, get keys, done. Oh, how charmingly naive I was. My first meeting with a mortgage advisor was like speed dating, but instead of trying to impress someone with my personality, I had to prove I was financially worthy of their bank's love. "So," said Michal, my mortgage advisor, spreading out approximately 47 forms, "let's start with the basics. Do you have your last 12 months of bank statements?" 12 months? I thought you needed 3. 3 months is for tourists. You want serious mortgage, we need serious documentation. Also, we'll need statements from every bank account you've ever had, including the one you opened in college for that summer job. But that was 15 years ago. Money has memory, Mr. Cohen. Banks never forget. The documentation list was longer than the Torah I needed. Bank statements from every account I'd ever opened. Salary slips for the last 24 months, from jobs in 3 different countries. Tax returns going back to the Pleistocene era. Proof of every source of income, including birthday money from grandparents. Documentation of my coffee spending habits, apparently relevant to financial responsibility. Character references from my kindergarten teacher. A signed affidavit explaining why I bought avocado toast that one time in 2019. But I just want a mortgage, not to adopt a child. In Israel, mortgage is bigger commitment than marriage. We take it very seriously. The income requirements were ambitious. According to Israeli mortgage mathematics, I needed to earn 4.2 times my monthly payment to qualify. Not 3 times, not 4 times. 4.2 times exactly, because apparently those decimal points are crucial for national security. "Your salary is 18,000 shekels per month," Michal noted, consulting her calculator like it contained the secrets of the universe. Yes. For a 4,500 shekel monthly payment, you need minimum 18,900 shekels monthly income. But I make 18,000? Not enough. It's a difference of 900 shekels. Rules are rules. Maybe you get second job? Or rich uncle dies? I started wondering if there was a black market for slightly higher salaries. The property appraisal process was its own adventure. The bank sent an appraiser who looked at my dream apartment like a forensic investigator examining a crime scene. He muttered, taking notes. "Building is from 1987. Is that bad? Not good, not terrible. Needs renovation. But it was just renovated. Not bank-approved renovation. We count only renovations done by contractors we recognize, using materials we approve, with permits we validate. So the beautiful new kitchen doesn't count? Kitchen is nice for living, not nice for mortgage math. He valued my 1.2 million shekel apartment at 950,000 shekels, apparently because the bathroom tiles weren't regulation size, and the living room faced the wrong direction, according to some ancient banking feng shui. The mortgage terms were explained with the enthusiasm of someone reading a medical diagnosis. "We can offer you 70% financing," Michal announced. "That sounds reasonable." "At 4.8% variable interest." Variable? Linked to the Bank of Israel base rate, plus our margin, plus market conditions, plus the phase of the moon, plus whatever the mortgage committee decides after their coffee break. What if interest rates go up? Then you pay more. What if they go way up? Then you pay way more. What if I can't afford the new payments? Then you sell apartment and move back in with parents. Very common in Israel. The mortgage committee meeting was like appearing before a financial tribunal. 5 bank employees sat around a table, studying my life like I was applying for admission to a secret society. Mr. Cohen, the committee chair began, we see here that you spent 47 shekels at a coffee shop on March 15th. Can you explain this expenditure? I bought coffee? Expensive coffee. Shows poor financial planning. It was a cappuccino. Cappuccino is luxury. Mortgage applicants should drink instant coffee. What about this 120 shekel charge at the supermarket? Another member asked. Groceries? What kind of groceries? I realized I was being judged not just on my ability to repay a loan, but on my entire lifestyle philosophy. Apparently buying name-brand cereal was evidence of fiscal irresponsibility. The insurance requirements were spectacular. To get a mortgage, I needed life insurance in case I die, disability insurance in case I can't work, property insurance in case the building collapses, mortgage protection insurance in case the mortgage gets sad, legal expenses insurance in case I need to sue myself, key replacement insurance in case I lose my keys and need therapy. How much will all this insurance cost? I asked. Only 800 shekels per month. That's almost as much as my property tax. Yes. But now you're properly protected against every possible catastrophe, including meteor strikes and zombie apocalypse. Do those really affect mortgages? In Israel, we prepare for everything. The legal process was like getting married, but more complicated and expensive. I needed a lawyer to explain the contract that the bank's lawyer had written to protect the bank from the mortgage that I was taking to buy the apartment that the seller's lawyer had verified was legally sellable. This clause says the bank can change the terms if they feel like it, I noted. Standard clause, my lawyer explained. And this one says I'm responsible for maintaining the building's structural integrity. Also standard. What about this part where I apparently agree to name my firstborn child after the bank manager? Okay, that one might be negotiable. The closing process was like a financial obstacle course designed by people who clearly enjoyed watching others suffer. I needed to coordinate bank approval, contingent on 47 conditions, lawyer availability, apparently very rare, seller cooperation, optional it seemed, property registration requiring forms that didn't exist, insurance activation, pending committee review, municipal approvals, from offices that were perpetually closed, final walkthrough to discover new problems. Everything needs to happen on the same day, my lawyer explained. What if something goes wrong? Then we reschedule and start over. How often does that happen? Maybe 60% of the time. But don't worry, eventually everything works out. The final approval came with conditions. Provide additional 50,000 shekels for closing costs nobody mentioned. Get 3 more insurance policies for risks I'd never heard of. Agree to let the bank monitor my spending habits for the next 30 years. Promise to never buy expensive coffee again. Sign a loyalty oath to the mortgage committee. Congratulations, Michal announced. You're approved for homeownership. I feel like I just survived a financial colonoscopy. Yes, that's normal. Welcome to Israeli real estate. 6 months later, I love my tiny, expensive apartment with the mortgage payments that make me question every purchase over 10 shekels. Every time I buy groceries, I imagine the mortgage committee reviewing my receipt and shaking their heads disapprovingly. But it's mine, and the bank's. And I've learned valuable lessons about Israeli financial responsibility. Instant coffee builds character, name-brand cereal is a luxury for the wealthy, and mortgage committees have very strong opinions about cappuccino consumption. Plus, my insurance covers everything from meteor strikes to emotional distress caused by paperwork, so I'm basically invincible now. That's all for today's episode of Aliyah and Chill. Remember, getting a mortgage in Israel teaches you that home ownership isn't just about having a place to live. It's about proving your worth to a financial tribunal and promising to drink instant coffee for the rest of your life. And hey, if navigating Israeli mortgage requirements while maintaining your sanity sounds more complex than international diplomacy, maybe it's time to call Easy Aliyah's VIP concierge service. We'll help you organize your financial life so thoroughly that even mortgage committees will be impressed. Until next time, keep your receipts organized and your coffee expectations low. You're going to need both for home ownership.